Hello there, my name's Scott. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Jazz Cartopipe, which I received from www.jazzcartopipe.com. Before I start though, I must point out I did receive it free of charge for the purpose of conducting a review, but my opinion of the product remained true, honest and accurate as always. Okay, so let's go straight ahead and show you in a bit more detail. Okay, so here we have the Jazz Cartopipe. Now, according to the website, if you did get one of these, then all you're going to be getting is the pipe on its own. It doesn't come with batteries, it doesn't come with charger, etc, etc. I would imagine it is going to come with one of these little sort of fancy pipe stands though, and one of these sort of soft carrying pouches, as that is how it was sent out to me, and there are pictures of that on the website. Now, the actual body of the pipe is completely made by hand. So this isn't a regular tobacco pipe which has then been sort of modified to turn it into a electronic pipe. This has actually been sort of carved out of a block of wood. Now, I'm not too sure what sort of wood they actually use. I can't find that information on the site, but I have sent the manufacturer a quick email to ask him, and if they get back to me in time, then I will leave a little note there just to let you know what wood they use. On top you have a brass disc, and if you slide that over, that is where you're going to fit the battery, and I'll show you that in a second. And just above that you've got a little sort of manual switch, which is what you're going to press and hold down each time you want to have a vape. Underneath you're going to find a small hole, which is obviously to allow for a bit of airflow when you're taking an inhale. And on this side you have a bit of a nice engraving. Now, I'm not too sure what the GA actually refers to. With regards to batteries, it uses an 18350, and here I've got an IMR 18350 with a flat top, but it will also work just as well with an AW IMR with the like the nipple on top. So to install the battery, you just got to slide the disc over, then insert the negative end in first, apply a little pressure, and then just slide the disc back over. And that's it, nice and simple. Now, as the name of the pipe would suggest, it uses cartomizers. Now, on the website it says that you can use either XL cartomizers, which I've got here, or it can also use standard cartomizers. But I'm not too sure how you're meant to use a standard cartomizer, because when you put it into the pipe, you've got no way of actually being able to sort of screw it up. So whether you're meant to use it with like a 510 to 510 adapter or some sort of drip tip on the end there, I'm not too sure. But for me personally, I've just been sticking with the XL cartomizers, and they've been working perfectly fine. When it comes to installing the cartomizer into the pipe, you want to make sure that the rubber cap is actually sticking out slightly rather than being inside the cartomizer. And this is so that when you put on the mouthpiece, it will make a good contact with that rubber seal in there, and then it will adjust it to the correct position for you. Okay, so to set it all up, all you've got to do is literally screw the cartomizer into the 510 connection that's right down the bottom now, and then put on your mouthpiece. So just whack that in the top, screw it up so it's nice and tight, get your mouthpiece, just line it up so it looks like it's going to sort of sit on there nice and straight, and then push it all the way down, and that's it, you can start vaping. Okay, so let's go straight ahead and see what it vapes like. Okay, so that is the Jazz Cartopipe, which I've since found out is made out of rosewood. Okay, so what I'll do now then is obviously go ahead and show you in action. So I've got the XL cartomizer filled up with some 18mg strength tobacco flavoured PG based e-liquid. As you can see, like vapour wise, you get a really nice amount of vapour out of it. Also, you have to bear in mind that the vapour production is going to be very down to very much down to your sort of personal setup. For example, what sort of resistance cartomizer you're using, and whether you're using a PG based e-liquid or a VG based e-liquid. But nevertheless, we're still getting a really nice amount of vapour out of it. Now, whenever I do like a review on a electronic pipe, I do tend to attract the hardcore tobacco pipe smokers who like to sort of come along and give me a bit of grief. You know, they like to sort of say to me, what you're doing, you're not meant to inhale it, you're meant to roll the smoke over your tongue and then appreciate the flavour and all that bollocks. But, you know, electronic pipes are a little bit different to your traditional tobacco pipes. And basically, it is just a battery and an atomizer, exactly the same as if you're using an electronic cigarette or electronic pipe, or electronic cigar, should I say. No, so really, it does come down to sort of personal preference. If you want to just sort of take the vape into your mouth, roll it over your tongue and appreciate the flavour, then obviously you can do that. But if you still want to sort of take the vapour down into your lungs and have a nice long inhale, then you can do that as well. So it really is down to sort of personal preference. With regards to throat hit, you get a nice strong throat hit if you did happen to want to inhale it, of course. And obviously, you know, the throat hit will be, again, quite dependent on your own sort of personal setup. For example, what sort of strength e-liquid you're using. I personally find that the higher the nicotine content of the e-liquid, like the stronger or the harsher the throat hit. I'm using 18 milligram strength here, which isn't sort of particularly high or particularly low, but I'm still getting a nice strong kick in the back of my throat. Battery life on it obviously uses the sort of fairly small 18350 batteries, but I'm not using this like during the course of the day really. I mean, I'm definitely not going to be going out to the shops with it in my hand, but I have been using it like in the evenings, and one battery has probably given me around sort of two and a half evenings worth of sort of pretty good vaping really. So I suppose if you're going to do that in sort of daily terms as a moderate user, you're probably going to be going for about sort of 1.5 batteries a day. You know, so the battery life, you know, isn't too bad really. The switch on it, you know, it works perfectly. Every time you press it, it fires up. There's no misfires or anything like that. At first, it felt a little bit uncomfortable to use. But the more you sort of use it, the more you sort of get used to it, I suppose, like with anything really. And, you know, now it feels actually sort of quite sort of natural to sort of hold the pipe or the bowl of the pipe in your hand and just sort of curl your finger over the top. The actual button is one of those sort of quite small and sort of stubby little buttons, so it does sort of dig into your finger a little bit, but again, you know, you do get used to that sort of fairly quickly. Also, there's no sort of main on-off switch to the actual device, so if you are carrying it around in your pocket, you do need to be mindful that you know, you could actually sort of self-activate. So you know, if you're going to carry it around in your pocket, it might just be worth sort of popping the battery out. Overall, it's just you know, a very nice pipe. It's, I think the added sort of bonus of this is that it is actually sort of handcrafted, whereas a lot of the other sort of modders, you know, they buy your sort of traditional tobacco pipes and then just sort of modify it to basically accept a battery and an atomizer. I can't get my words out today, which is nothing wrong with that as long as it looks nice and works well. But you know, the fact that it is handcrafted out of a lump of sort of rosewood, you know, just sort of gives you that little bit of extra really. Okay then, so moving on to the scores. For the looks, like I said, it's a very nice looking pipe, and you know, so I quite happily give that an 8 out of 10. For the vapour production and the throat hit, I'm going to give those me average scores of 8 out of 10 each, just because it will be down to your sort of personal setup. For example, what sort of resistance cartomizer you're using, whether you're using a PG based e-liquid or VG based e-liquid, whether you're using a high nicotine strength or a low nicotine strength e-liquid, etc, etc. So I will give those me average scores of 8 out of 10. For the battery life, like I said, if you're going to do it on a daily basis of moderate vaping, you're probably going to go through sort of 1.5 batteries a day. So it's not sort of too bad, so I'll give the battery life a 7 out of 10. For the switch, Switch works absolutely perfectly, never had any sort of misfires or anything like that. It is a little bit sort of stubby, it is a little bit sort of, it does sort of dig into your finger a little bit after sort of prolonged use, and there is no sort of main on-off switch to the actual device, so I'm going to give the Switch a 7 out of 10. If you fancy trying one out for yourself though, then go along to www.jazzcartopipe.com. Thank you very much for watching, and also come along and visit my website at www.e-cig-reviews.com. That's e-cig-reviews.com. Cheers guys, happy vaping, see you later.